Hi, and welcome to another edition of the daily news of Venezuela Insider. Today is November 4th of 2025, so let's get to the news. Kind of a busy day regarding the news of the past events, and let's start by, we have news from the Kremlin, from Russia. The spokesperson from the Kremlin, Dmitry Peskov, said that uh, Russia, the Russian Federation, has contract obligations with Venezuela regarding, supporting the defense of this particular military situation in the country and yada yada yada. And this is yeah, this is the funny part. There are too many war conflicts in the world right now, according to the Kremlin. Yeah, that's rich. Okay, but even more importantly, one of the congressmen within the committee, the military committee of the Russian Congress, also known as the Duma, this particular gentleman mentioned the possibility that since there are no restrictions to supply militarily a friendly nation like Venezuela with Oresnik missiles, these intercontinental ballistic missiles that Russia has, and well, could become a headache in with this right now this military tension between the U.S. and Venezuela. Yeah. On the other side, the USS Gerald Ford, the biggest air carrier in the world, belonging to the U.S. military, of course, right now is just past Gibraltar, so on the Mediterranean, and apparently is going full steam ahead to the to the Caribbean theater of operation, and also the works in order to revamp the Roosevelt Rose Air Base in Puerto Rico. The jobs are right now 24/7, so you know ballistic missiles and an aircraft carrier. Well, that's a killer combo, and yeah, no pun intended. Now, also, we have some news, some economic news. First, let's start by The Economist, the British publication. They set some scenarios for the situation in Venezuela. Interestingly, they are flat out discarding any boots on the ground land invasion or mass military operation. So, according to the economists, the scenarios that they have is secret covert operations within Venezuela, special forces, things like that, and that due to the assets on the region. The economists did a chart comparing the military assets on different and past military conflicts of the United States. Right now, the Caribbean theater has way more military assets, U.S. military assets, compare, for instance, with the Just Cause operation in Panama in the 89 and also in the 80s in Grenada. Way, way more. And the only recent operation that has, according to the chart of the economist, that has more military assets is the operation in Kuwait against Iraq and the quote unquote desert Storm operation. Okay, now other interesting news, and this is more on economics, is that the opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, she got a very interesting meeting with the British financial firm Barclays and also with hedge funds, investing firms, also representatives from the World Bank and the IMF in order to do further business, in the future when, if, quote unquote, regime change happens in the country. So we got this. Also, a particular news that I found interesting is the former CIA agent that now is a successful content creator, John Kiriakou. On his YouTube channel, he was asked about the operation in Venezuela, if anything is going to happen, and he said that if the thing is for real, you need to see the naval movement from military vessels regarding a particular territorial operation, if the thing is going for that or not. And he was hesitant, dubious, until he saw the news of the USS Gerald Ford, this large aircraft carrier. So afterwards, he said, yeah, most likely will be an operation. Kiriakou also mentions the presidential finding that we had that Trump mentioned in basically giving overtly to the press, mentioning that the CIA has an order in order to that they can act within Venezuela. And according to Kiriakou, that is a former CIA agent, basically this is the first time in history, according to him, and of course he knows about these things, that he found that very strange, so very weird. So according to Kiriakou, yeah, the operation is going on, and that list is very large right now, regardless if you are pro or anti this particular situation. Well, and lastly, I want to close with this particular news. Yet another one from London, from the UK, is regarding Jeremy Corbyn, the former leader of the Labour Party, that apparently he is upset of this particular, potential operation in the Caribbean because it injures the possibility of a multipolar world that that's supposed to be the area of Russia and China and not the area of interest of the United States. So, yeah, well, the only thing I have to say regarding Jeremy Corbyn is that I don't think that the overwhelming majority of Venezuela, they don't care about the geopolitical desires of Mr. Corbyn, and I don't think even his own political party, his former political party, the Labour Party, even cares about it. So, I mean, just something to add to the news today. So that will be all. A quick edition, as you can see, I'm on the road. So thanks again. Have a nice day, and we'll see each other on the next video.